I'm ranking the Eternal Return characters based on their difficulty to climb the ranks ladder. I'll be deciding whether the characters are RP printers or just a charity basket for other teams. Of course, I'm biased to the NA ladder, so I brought in a resident KR expert and high elo Haze main, lead Eileen main.
I'm Eileen.
Nero.
Thanks for having me today.
Thank you for joining me. This is our first collab together. I'm pretty excited. So the way this will work is that we will give some quick opinions of each characters and average out where we think they fit on the tier list. At the top, we have the RP printers. These are the characters that, at their worst, you're still likely to see positive gains. The A tier, characters here are played at their ceiling, are borderline 1v23 characters, and when played at even at an average level, they're still very effective. B tier are the characters that you won't have to put in a ton of effort to carry the game, and will still have a positive outcome. This includes characters that you can effectively misplay on, and they're still close to the A tier at their peak. C tier is your average characters. You'll have an average experience climbing with them, getting punished when you misplay and being rewarded when you outplay. You're likely need to pop off to have big gains, but pretty good characters nonetheless. You'll also be gated a little bit by how your team's doing. D tier is named after Sisyphus' boulder. You'll always have an uphill climb even when you're playing well. These characters either don't have any tools to work with, need to be carried by their team, or just get outclassed by the other characters. And F tier is the charity basket. There's not going to be many characters in here, I don't think. Realistically,
yeah,
I think
Isol. Yep.
Yeah, Pistol Isol. I think realistically you can climb on any character, but the characters in here you'll actively be weighing your team down. So basically giving RP to a different team. And just before we start, meta isn't going to be a huge part of the conversation. This is based on the character's tools rather than the raw numbers. It will still play a small part in the consideration, but it won't be the deciding factor. And we're going to assume that if you're playing the character, you have a general idea of what you're doing. So the first character up, we have Abigail.
Abigail. Where do you think she is?
So I think she's around the C tier.
I think she's B.
CV. So she's a good character.
I think she's B actually.
She's like an all-in character, right? So no escapes really. Can't really get yourself out of situations. Kind of have to commit to the fight.
The reason why I think she's B, right? It depends on your bracket. I think. I feel like in the lower elos, this character will be harder to climb with, but also like easy to climb with at the same time. Because like in the lower elos, like Abigail tends to do this thing where she starts the fight, right, with their team, and she overwhelms the trade immediately because it's an AoE burst, right? If you manage to clip 2 people with your WE, like Blade of Truth ultimate combo, you effectively remove like 50 to 70% HP of like 2 targets, especially if they're squishies. The bad side of it though is if you do go in, right, and you're in low elo, chances are your team doesn't know how to follow up. So it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
now,
for sure.
That's why I think it shouldn't be put at A, because she doesn't have a lot of escape. That's the thing. She doesn't have a lot of escape. If you're in, you're in. Like, I can see why it's C for you. And I think, like, I mean, like, we're not far off from each other here.
I think B's a good fit for that, too, because that's really similar to another character I want to talk about later.
I actually think this character is more like a Smurf character. Yeah, it's like the character that you can pick when you're like, you know, like if you're like trying to climb up really fast on a new account type of character. Like above average is where I'd put her. Like I think like since C is average.
I think you made a good argument for it.
Yeah.
I'll put her in B. Alright, next up we have Adela. And I think Adela,
this is hard to rate, bro.
Yeah.
Adela's hard to rate.
An insanely high skill ceiling. Which I think is like the biggest part of it. But like I think in the lower elos and the mid elos, she needs a teammate to set her up, right? Like you're not
here's the thing about Adela. You have 2 modes with Adela. It's either your G-work or your like dog or something.
Right.
The thing is with Adela has very basic combo, right? Like it's very basic, like Queen WE,
QWE,
like QWE into like RE2. Very basic. You don't even have the weapon skill in that combo, which you know is like min max within. It's like the suboptimal combo, but it still works. Now, in higher elo, right? In higher elo, I generally think this character, like it is an LP generator, because like the way I look at LP generator is like how often can you like reach top 3 and get multiple kills. And the ability of Adela, I think, is an RP printer tier. But if you're talking about mid to low elo, I think she's actually like in the balanced one.
Like I've seen G-Work win some fights that like you would think that there's no business him winning. And I think like the potential to play Adela at her like peak is so high But like for the regular Adela, if you have a teammate like that has CC, like you're landing queen. Like
Yeah,
it's not hard to
you
hit
have
queen on
to
CC.
rely on that guy. That's the thing.
If you
But,
don't
like,
have someone to set up queen though, it can be like a little bit baiting for your team. Like if your Adela hits a good queen, I've
It's
seen people
rough.
like all in try to get that kill when it's just like a poking queen.
I can't put her any lower than average, above average, I think, because like if it's for like the mid and low elo, because of the fact that she has really good escape and she's not super squishy. She has access to bat skill, which means her transitions are cheap, right? And like really like cost effective. You put her A. Alright.
Yeah. I think like
that's fair actually. High effort, high reward. Yeah, that is true.
Next up we have Adina.
Yeah, this is very similar to Adela, but more towards the utility stuff.
Yeah, this one we also had factual evidence of an RP printer with Dina.
Yeah. Like Adina, I think is just similar to Adela, but instead of like bursting enemies while CC'd, you're like, this is like the poke version / Discord kitten healing version of like Adela.
She does everything.
She does everything, right? She does everything. It does require a lot of effort and a lot of skill to pull her off, but when like let's just say, like if you're an above average Adina player and you get matched with like a highly rated player in your server, it's a wrap.
Yeah,
it's a wrap, dude. You're gaining LP. Like it's not even about winning, it's about gaining LP, right?
Yeah, it's just how much.
As long as you're not maybe Adina where you're literally like, oh, what does this do? Type of Adina, then you should be fine.
Which she is a little bit difficult, right? Like she's not the easiest character to play.
Yeah.
But she just has a combo for every situation. Like,
I mean, she's closer to S than Adela because like Adina does not give a damn about comps.
Yeah, she fits into like 90%.
She fits in
comps.
most comps.
So the thing about Adriana is I think it's really easy to do damage on her. But like her positioning I think is the most important part.
I think Adriana benefits a lot from having meta characters with her. Let's say the meta character is Isaac Shuichi. She benefits Giga from that because she's like a sub DPS damage amplifier.
Yeah.
Because we're shred, right? So like I would actually put like Adriana at B tier personally, just because it's a pick that you usually do. Like okay, there's like Isaac and an Alonso on my team. Gee, I wonder what pick would work with that.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
And
She kind of like
also
does
up the
her own
skill.
thing in a fight almost, but she like also I think can get punished more than most of the other like.
Yeah, she can like she gets punished in a way where you can like disable her while she's casting her E, and like if you commit your, let's say you're a Jackie, Adela uses Adriana uses her E the moment you jump on her, but like let's say you have a flash, then you flash, right, avoiding the trail, right, and getting slow. Like if you get that one hit off on her, like suddenly she's dead, and the only thing she can do is like Cho, like the Cho skill. I feel like she's B for me, but that's me. Like where would you put her actually?
I would put her in B as well, but I don't think she fits like the label of B. Like I
Low
feel like
effort, decent reward.
yeah.
I mean, you can say that it's low effort, decent reward in the sense of you press R on stuff and people like kill stuff for you, then you gain RP.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I mean. Like she's easy to do damage on. I don't know. I guess that's kind of low effort then.
Yeah, that is low effort. I mean, like no shot or any Adriana mains, of course. We're not saying anybody's like character carried.
Okay,
Right.
I'm gonna change it to like mid effort then. I don't like low. I think mid's probably
Yeah,
a
I
little
feel
bit
like
better.
you're saying like people that you don't need, it's like it's kind of weird to have B as like
With Aiden, you have to play perfectly every time, otherwise you just die.
Aiden is a one trick character.
That's a good way of putting it.
Is literally a one trick character. I think I've talked to Kira about this, right? Because like I've tried to play Aiden. I've won with Aiden within my A to Z challenge though. It took like 4 games, but like when we talked about this character, he said that you do need like 1,000 games on this character to play at the highest level, and that's like bare minimum, right? And like usually the people that do 1,000 games of Aiden are already good at the game. So that's even harder for somebody going into the game not being good at the game yet. For the casual player, I feel this character's RP gen is probably not super high.
Yeah, I have him in D tier, but I think like if you get like a isolated 1v1 with someone, he gives like the chance to like do well. But
yeah, but
like,
that's the thing though. Like usually isolated 1v1 characters still like like it's not a guarantee that you win that.
No, for sure.
It's more like maybe you get the advantage if you're ahead, but like let's say you're 1v1ing a Lee Lin and Lee Lin W's 2 of your like Pikachu charges. Oh, it's a wrap.
Yeah, for sure.
It's hard to rate one-trick characters, to be honest, because like if you're rating a casual player playing this, I would definitely like put him at D or C. But if it's like a high elo player, your casual high elo player in Korea, I would actually put him at B. Yeah.
If he has like conditions where he's like really good, like if you do have those 1,000 games on him, then for him to be good, like I think that just makes it like a C, like for like a balanced experience then, because like there is the potential there. It's just that's gonna require a ton of work.
Alex, this character is an RP printer.
Maybe in KR.
Yeah, in KR, but
Yeah.
in KR, this is definitely RP printer. Like here's the thing, this is hard to rate. Alex is really hard to rate for a casual standpoint. Because like there's no like it's like black and white. It's literally black and white. It's either you're Alex or you're not. Right? If we're talking about a competent Alex, it's literally at bare minimum A. At high effort, high reward. Because how do you kill this character? How do you wipe a team with Alex?
Yeah.
Have you ever played against a high elo Alex before? You never wipe their team. Right? You legit never get to wipe their team. Like Alex is always gonna find a way to like either like turn the fight around, right? With his like 1 million skills, dude, or like find a way to like escape y'all altogether if his team loses the fight.
Yeah, and he's
right?
a good rat too, right? Like
yeah, he's a good rat too. So he has good if we're talking about utility, right? Like if we're talking about utility, Adina, Adela prevents her team from like dying to bush checks because they can check it for them. Like Alex has that too. And like the good part is if somebody jumps you off of like a bush check, right? Let's say Alex presses W, is the one to check the bush and he gets jumped on. He has like 1 million forms of parry and like like counterplay.
yeah.
From an RP gaining standpoint, the bare minimum I would put him is A. But like I said, it's really hard to rate this character because are we rating the character on like a good pilot or are we rating this character on a bad one?
Yeah, I think it's subjective though. Like I think if like someone who's like maybe not the best Alex, but like has a decent understanding of Alex and is pretty good at Alex, like they're also not playing against the best players either, right? Like
yeah, exactly. Like I know because I did the 8 to 8 challenge, right? And
right.
I was giga bad at Alex. Right. It took me like more than 10 games to clear that character. And like I developed a new level of respect to anybody that plays this character. One, like if you make a mistake on this character, it doesn't punish you as hard because you have a lot of panic buttons. But damn,
I have him at top of A, but
alright, that's
I
fair.
also don't have any S's, so I can see him being an S as well.
Yeah, I think it's an RP printer, but like like I said, there's not a lot of them, so you can be but there's not a lot of Alex players in the ladder. Yeah, because like it's like a shiny Pokemon if you see one.
Yeah.
Alonso. Alright, I have a different take about this character. I'm not gonna lie. Like people think he's broken, right? People think he's like really good.
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, I think he is really good if you're winning.
Yeah,
if you're behind, you are wiped, dude.
I don't think he's that great.
This character sucks at running away, dude.
Yeah, he's got no commitment.
Oh yeah,
He's
you're
got
gonna
all
get plus
commitment.
100 if you steamroll the lobby because you get to force engage every single time. You get to force your lead onto somebody every single time. But the moment you are in a losing team, bro, how do you get away?
No, you die.
How do you
all
run
the time.
away? And I think it doesn't even take like an experienced player to notice that, right?
No, I think he's like super susceptible to like not being able to get away or out of fights.
Alonso takes like really good macro, right? Really, really good macro because you gotta first determine, is this fight winnable or not?
Yeah.
If you're the type to just dump anything you see, oh my god, minus LP.
He's
right.
stupid tanky and he's got point and click CC, which I think is like nice, but he's also like it's like you said with target selection, like he's really prone to being ignored. Like if you just ignore him the ult doesn't do any damage. It's like an annoying
interrupt. Yeah, the ult doesn't do any damage. It's not a Nunu, like it's not a Nunu ultimate.
You can just ignore him most of the time.
Right. You can literally just ignore most of the time, and like he's not as tanky as people think.
I think he does have some good things though. Like he's got the same thing as Nikki, where it's like, hey, we're gonna target this person. Like I think that's very obvious.
I feel like if somebody wants to play a version of Nikki that doesn't get one shot if they make a misplay, Alonso is the perfect character.
Yeah,
for that.
I agree.
Difference is though, Nikki can actually run away from bad fights. Alonso can't.
I have him in C. I think what keeps him out of D is like, as you said, when he's ahead, like it's got obvious target selection.
It ends up a net positive. It ends up a net positive if you just like, if you get to like get like pop-off games. You lose it like when you get those games where you place 8 because your team like took a bad fight, right? Like, so it ends up being a net positive, but like only a little.
Yeah, it's a first or 8.
Yeah, Arda.
I have Arda in D, and I think that's because he's mostly outclassed in every area.
Let me tell you what Arda is. Arda is the untalented cousin of Adina.
Yeah.
Literally.
Like, he doesn't do anything as well as Adina, but is easier to play.
Personally, I would say that this character isn't like super bad. I think it's bad, but it's not super bad. Like, personally, I would put him at D. But like that's me imagining like an Arda specialist. Like I don't know if you know Anonymous Gamer from KR. That guy's cracked at this character.
But like even with him, like I feel like the character's not worth investing that much into, regardless.
Yeah, I mean like personally, like I see it that way just because he's not like a Lee Dai Lin archetype, like the cute anime girl type of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just my personal preferences at that point.
Yeah, I think he's got like some unique stuff. Like as a sum that keeps him out of F. There's like barely any reason to pick him over like any of the mages if you need damage, any of the healers or supports if you need like healing. Like his teleport is like the big gimmick for him, and like that's not as useful I think as it looks.
Because it's like usually people love to be aggressive. I think there's more aggressive players than there are defensive players. Don't you agree?
Yeah,
right.
I think so.
There's definitely more like aggressive players that want to get the jump than like defensive players where they wait in a specific area for like a century, and then like a team comes up to them, then they kite and like. Like that requires a lot of coordination. That's the thing. I think that's the reason
that
why.
More in tournaments, but like
in tournaments,
in solo queue, like
solo queue. Hell nah, bro. Hell nah, bro. I'm fine with putting him at F, but that's mostly because like I don't gain a lot of LP with this character whenever I get him, unless it's like that one guy. There's always that one guy that. Like that guy. You know what I'm saying? There's only.
I feel like if you have to rely on that though.
Next,
I think Aya is interesting because she's gonna be the first character that we're talking about who like kind of changes complete play style based on weapon type.
Are we really gonna talk about Sniper? Hell no, right? This character is probably balance experience straight up.
Yeah,
it's the vanilla character.
Well,
it's literally the vanilla character. Vanilla mage. Or vanilla right clicker. That's it. It's a perfect definition of a character that gets elo based off of whether they're good or not on fundamentals. Spacing, right? A clicking, kiting, right? Like basic fundamentals of a range character. Like effective range of your Q if you're pistol, effective range of your DW, right?
Yeah.
Like knowing how to use cooldowns. She has self peel. Right click version is like just brut, so you just need good spacing. Like knowing when to do your damage window, knowing when you can take hits from people and outtrade them. I think like the weapon that you can do something special and impact the team in a very like big way is I think pistol.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think pistol has higher skill ceiling. Right?
Yeah. Pistol's like, you can.
But since we have to consider AR in the discussion,
and
that
sniper
tones it down way much.
Yeah, AR you stand still and click and then self ult. I don't know how I feel about Barbara.
Babala is niche.
Yeah.
Niche.
When RW
Niche,
is
niche.
strong, like she's so simple, right? Like she just RWs over and over and nukes people who don't know how to play against her. And then like I think RQ is a little bit more skillful.
Yeah, RQ is more like, here's the thing, like you use RW when you're getting dove, you use RQ when you're diving.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna put it in something more simple. Really hard to rate in the sense of like the average player, right? I think this character is on D in like gaining RP. And the reason why I think that is there's too many people that doesn't know how Barbara works.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barbara's not a character without the ultimate. So it's like if your team wants to fight and like you ping your ultimate that it's not ready and they still fight, it's minus RP immediately.
Yeah.
I feel like it's easier to gain RP with Barbara at higher elo. But in lower mid elo, definitely not. Bernice?
Bernice. So Bernice is like he's a dashless AD
Mid.
carry. Yeah. Like,
Mid as fuck.
he does have like the same thing with Alonso Nikki where it's like, hey, we're targeting this person with the ultimate.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. It's very similar. But like difference is this character if this character loses a fight, how do you get out?
No, yeah. No escapes again. Like
Yeah, no escapes. All you have is flash in like
and you're
queuing them.
squishy.
Yeah, and you're squishy too.
Yeah.
I would say in high elo KR, I would put this character at B tier in gaining LP. Because like this character, let's just say that this character is more like, okay, you function kind of like Nikki, but like it has less risk because you're doing it from range. So if your team sees if you engage with your E and you miss, that signals your team that, oh, we're not going then.
Yeah.
It's also not like, oh, I'm super good at Bernice, I'm gonna gap everybody. Like, nah, bro, like,
No,
you're
you
Bernice.
can't. Yeah, he doesn't even have
Can't.
the tools to
There's
do
like
that.
a limit to, there's a limit. It's easy to hit the limit, but like the limit is the limit. Oh,
Right.
Bianca. Alright, now that's like a good, character to gain RP with.
Yeah, I think Bianca's like fairly easy, but she does fit like the all or nothing because her engaged tools
Yeah,
are
she's
her
like
escape.
all or nothing.
Yeah.
Like here's the difference, right? Here's the difference. I feel like if you compare like Bernice and Aya to like Bianca actually dictates the team fight. An engage from Bianca dictates whether a team fight or like wins or loses, I think. The placement of R, the landing of Q, the target selection, and then like being able to like mind control / magnet like a bruiser to hit you, and then you'll just do coffin, totem, coffin, right? And they're like, right, like so, like she is the master of like doing -1 forcing -1 situations and being able to be that character that doesn't die during the -1 window.
Yeah.
Like, what do I mean by the -1 window? It's that window where people try to pick off one guy right after you just picked off one guy to make it a 2v2. If the target of the enemy is Bianca right after the -1 because, oh, she doesn't have any skills anymore, but she has W, totem W, like, damn, good luck, dude. By the time you finish killing her, one of your guys probably dead as well because the two probably wailed wailed on you. Maybe higher than Adri too, but
I would put
that's
her
me.
higher than Adri because I think like
Yeah.
how,
AJ AJ doesn't impact like initial engages as much as like Bianca. Like AJ is reliant as well on teammates to perform, but Bianca, you control the engage.
Yeah.
Like you get to dictate whether it's like, okay, it's a good fight or a bad fight. It's on you, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a good Bianca player, you like it's all macro too. There's not a lot of mechanical skill when it comes to this character.
no, you can't
Right.
miss. Like you can't miss R. It's so hard to like
Yeah.
not do damage on Bianca. Where like I feel like at Adri, like the R is
In-
pretty easy, but like the Q
I
if you
actually
mess
think
up.
in lower elo, it is super easy to gain with this character.
Yeah.
In higher elo, it's harder. You know why it's harder? Because people actually know when to time their disables when they hear the vampire. Like, for example, a good Lenox player, the moment he hears, vampire queen, like the Lenox player already has the E preemptively cast. So before she even gets the E in and then the R, she already like flays a Bianca away. So the circle is more towards the enemy than their side. Yeah, some people don't have ways of stopping Bianca, but like there's a lot of people that can. It's just like very specific on how they do it.
Yeah, I think that's what
Right.
keeps
For
her
example,
out
a
of A.
Celine player can use E.
For sure.
Right? Bianca's like a skill check. Oh, do you know how to play against me? Are you good enough to time it? Like, how good is your team reacting to it?
It's a skill
right?
check for like the other person though. Like she doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah, it's a skill check for the other person. Exactly, right? That's why I think, right, you get to skill check more people on lower elo and mid elo,
sure.
right, compared to higher elo. That's why I said this is definitely an easier climb. Like, I would say if it's mid or low elo, I would put her like higher than Adina. By the way, to people that have the Bianca skin, congratulations. That was worth it. That splash art was so naughty. Holy.
Camilo's interesting, cause
Camilo's an RP printer in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, but if you're a Camilo specialist and you're low elo, this is an RP printer. Straight up.
If it's only low elo and high elo, then like you're not actually climbing, right? Like you're like plateauing at different points then.
It's kinda weird because this character is not Aiden. You don't need an encyclopedia to play like Camilo, right? You don't need to play as perfectly to play Camilo, I think, right?
Yeah.
Because you can dump your body, do your skills, like, and you'll take one guy with you, bare minimum, if you like manage to do that against somebody who's equal skill as you.
His ultimate specifically is like his bad ults are so bad for a team, but like his good ults are like
game winning rate. That's the reason why at the start I mentioned specialist, because the difference between a good Camilo and a bad Camilo is usually the R usage and the fight selection, the macro. This character fights so much. Like, I feel like every single Camilo main I've seen is hyper aggressive, meaning they're prone to one thing: getting third party, dude. That's like the issue, right? Because you're aware that you can do XYZ, right? You're aware, you go for it because you want to snowball even harder into the game, right? Because you want to be stronger. That makes Camilo very susceptible to getting third party. But the reason why I think this character is an RP printer in low elo is because they don't know how to play around Q3. You can literally wipe a team off of one Q3. I think everybody can agree with that.
Yeah.
You get like one flash Q3 off, right? Like on like two people, they're CC'd while getting their health chunked by half. If Camilo wasn't a A+ tier character, I would put him at C or D. But Camilo is an A+ character at the moment.
okay.
In my
But
opinion.
if we're not talking about meta,
If we're not talking about meta, I'd put him at C, bro. Because like it's either Camilo is meta or Camilo's a RP donator.
yeah, that's.
That's it.
So would you put him above Abigail or below?
No, probably below Abigail actually. Abigail is way better now. Abigail is way better now, I think, and like compared to before. Old Abigail, no, like Abigail would probably be D. Dude.
Yeah. Well.
But new Abigail is she's a lot better now, I think. Oh, Cathy, I think we can all agree that this is RP printer, right?
Yeah, she's the same as
There's
Bianca with
no
the minus,
way.
the minus
Burst?
one thing.
Right, burst -1, low cooldown skills.
Yeah.
Like the escape factor, right? Punish, right? Like whether you're like you can be behind on this character, get a 2-month searcher and win somebody who's like 10 million like items and master above you.
Yeah, you don't even
That's the
have
type
to
of
hit your full
character
kit
Cathy
most
is.
of the time. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. Like what I'm trying to say is, let's say you're behind on Cathy and it looks like Grim. You hit that 2-man full combo on 2 people, right? And suddenly, wow, we won, right?
Yep.
I feel like Cathy players get a lot of those moments where they think they're gonna lose by default because of the deficit, and then they get like that big suture off and like they win the entire fight.
Yeah, and it happens
And
at
it's
all
easier to do
elos,
in
too.
solo queue. Yeah, it happens in all elos.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like it's universally good. It's universally good. RP printer, I would say.
What situations does the Cathy get the suture in that like separates a good Cathy from like a low elo Cathy?
Yep, Celine. Oh, it's a niche. It's literally like Barbara, but like I would say, at least this character doesn't have cooldowns.
Yeah, have you got to her in your A to Z yet?
Yeah, I won with her in like 4 games.
Yeah, she's so much easier now.
She's so much easier now. I think that I would say either balance or D with Celine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either balance or D. You need to be good at like kidnapping people with E. And I think kidnapping people with E is a high elo Celine thing.
Like when people think of Celine, like they think of the 4 bomb, right? Or like previously the 5
Yeah,
bomb.
they just like QW, RW. That's it.
Yeah, no,
right?
the E is the scariest part of her for sure.
Yeah, the E is the scariest part of her because it's a skill that literally pushes everybody away that you don't want to kidnap, but pushes in the guy that you want to kidnap.
Yeah.
It's the perfect separation tool if you land it perfectly.
Yeah,
right?
it's
And
fast,
couple that
right?
with
Like,
yeah, it's fast. It's instantaneous.
it's hard to react to too. If
Yeah,
they're
you
in a
can't just,
bush,
like,
it's not
oh,
reactable. Like,
yeah, you can't just like flash it immediately unless you're like, you know, 0 ping or something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
yeah, no.
Where will you put Celine actually?
I think because she's been made easier, I would put her in B. I think.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think old Celine would have been A, but like even if you like, it's one thing to get like consistent kidnaps, but even if you're just like stopping engages with E, like you throw an E when 11 taunts, like it's still very effective. Like
I mean that's fair. I in my opinion, she's probably like C. She doesn't like win the DPS race as consistently because people can just avoid the bombs.
yeah, she's good.
The
at
moment
wick,
you
though.
commit your like if you're against like Laura's and stuff, like for example, since I'm playing KR, there's a lot of Laura's here that are pretty damn good. I think you've seen it.
There's
Right?
5 every lobby.
Like how the hell do you hit the combo on that? Right? And like you don't have a stun anymore with Celine, so like what's like you have to rely on a teammate to CC them into your combo, and even then it's not gonna one shot them, so you can like they can still lose the DPS race. So that's why I put like Celine at D and C like tier, because like if you're talking about like how easy it is to gain RP with, I think it's gonna be easier to gain RP with like one hand on one of these characters than like Celine with both hands. That's what I feel. Chiara is either snowball or die.
Yeah. And when she's like ahead, she feels so OP. She like E, R, and then R's again, and you're dead.
This character feels so uninteractive when she's ahead, but when she's behind, oh my god!
Yeah, she's nothing.
Just jump her forehead. I feel like she's very teammate reliant. I don't think you can walk into a lobby, pick Chiara, and be like, oh, I'm gonna be the sole reason why we win. There's a good reason why offense dropped her.
Yeah, you can like now still get your reset on down bodies. Is nice. It'll help out like the lower healer Chiaras, but I don't think she's anything crazy. Like I think she's still C.
Personally, I put her at D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the teammates.
Personally, I put her at D. Yeah, because of how reliant you are at teammates. That's the only reason. Because like I guess like it's a similar thing with Alonso. I guess it's a similar thing with Alonso, but like instead of CC, instead of the CC version, which is Alonso, it's like the damage version.
Yeah.
Chiara. Chloe has to be A. There's no way.
I have her in
There's
A
no
as
way
well.
Chloe's not A.
Like,
Yeah, there's no
she's
way
not the
Chloe's
most
not A.
difficult character, I think, but I think some of the shit that you can do on her is really difficult.
In high elo, you need to be really good at Chloe. Like, you have to micro Nina while ulting. Bare minimum micro Nina while ulting. You need to know the tech, the cancels, right?
Yeah.
Like, the auto cancels with Nina, like, affects her damage a lot, I think. I think the reason why this character is, like, really good for RP printing is mostly because it's an ADC that has a wall jump, has self-peel, has a Tryndamere ultimate,
Yeah.
right?
Kinda,
has decent range, has like, you know, has slows, has kiting, and has chase. She has a lot.
Yeah,
Let's see.
but that all goes
She has
away
a
if you
lot.
lose Nina. I think it's specifically in like the lower elos as well. Like people
Yeah.
don't ult to save Nina. Like they only ult to save Chloe.
Yeah, people don't auto save Nina. It's your child. What the hell, dude?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I think that so like you do have to like play her really well to be good at her.
yeah. Like, that's why it's high effort, high
Yeah,
reward.
I agree.
Danilo.
Daniel, exact opposite.
I'm not gonna lie. At low elo, I think Daniel is B. At high elo, I think Daniel is FD.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
at the beginning of the season because he was so strong, he was a little bit higher. But I think he's definitely a low elo stomper.
Low now, bro. Like, Daniel is so hard to pull off now, dude. Like, Daniel is so hard to pull off now, dude. Like, because like if you don't one shot, you're useless.
Yeah, he's a reverse Cathy.
And if you do one shot, it's a 2v2, not a 3v3.
Yeah.
It's not a 2v3. It's not a 2v3. It's a 2v2. Your team is, let's say, Daniel plus a tank plus a ADC. Typical stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then the enemy team is, let's say, a Laura, like a Hart, and an Elena. And the Daniel swoops in, kills the Hart. Okay, that's what Daniel does. Okay. the Elena and Laura can win.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It depends
Right?
on like the comp too, I think. But like,
Yeah.
I think in most instances outside of high elo, like trading one kit for one life
One kill,
isn't that
right?
bad. But
Yeah, one kit for
I
one
wouldn't
life,
call
right?
it good either.
Like at high elo, I put his LP gain at D. Below Barbara, actually.
Yeah.
His peak starts at like mid-C type of thing for me. But like, that's just my opinion. To me, it's D, but that's just me.
I think he's a little bit higher than D. I think it's because he's pretty easy to play too, right? Like hitting Q is the only hard part.
For mid-low elo, like Danilo kit is like, yeah, I get that
Yeah,
part.
I like Debbie a lot. I think she's the highest skilled tank. Like tank bruiser tank. Like she's got decent carry potential too.
This character isn't too hard as long as you understand that you're supposed to mix and match colors in middle of the team fight instead of just like, oh, I see two people clump, I press R immediately. and then like, oh wait, where's my cooldowns?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think she's like insanely hard. I think there's like some skill with the W as well with blocking projectiles.
Yeah, I feel like Debbie is like around B tier.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think she's the
around
top
B
of
tier.
B. This stupid character.
Oh, that character.
This character.
Is there like a high reward, low effort?
Yeah,
tier?
right? This character is impossible to kill. Does 10 billion damage. Has no animations for some reason.
LP printer or A? I don't think.
I think the thing that keeps him out of being an RP printer is that you do have to get his weapon online.
I do think he's an RP printer.
He might
What do you
still-
mean get his weapon?
Yeah, I
dude?
guess you
It's
can just call it
200,
in, but-
200 credits, my dude.
Like I've seen
Just
games.
buy it for-
I've seen games in low elo where like they show up to tree night 1 and they like try to, or day
They
2
just
and
die.
they just die.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that is fair. But like the description of A is kind of saucy.
No, yeah, he's not high effort at all.
I mean, it's kind of hard, man.
Yeah.
But like you don't, if you don't want to put him S, but you don't want to put him like B because like it's definitely easy to gain RP with.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, like it's fine to put him at B.
No, I think you're
Actually
right.
fine
He's
to put him
gotta
at
go
B.
S.
Like this character is just a cockroach that keeps reviving his teammates over and over if he's in a losing team. It's easy to get top tier with this character, right?
Yeah, he's a good rat too.
Elena, RP printer, dude. Holy.
I think currently
this
she is.
character, dude.
I haven't played much of her.
Crazy. This character can hard carry as a tank because she has respectable damage. Can make one like alright. This is how you play Elena, right? This is how we play Elena. It's simple, right? You see the enemy. Who's the strongest guy? Who's the most competent player on the enemy team? Oh, G-Works team. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Freeze.
it's G-Work team plus 2 diamonds. Maybe as an Elena, if I freeze him during the fight, we win the fight just because like one of the best players in the world doesn't get to play the game for like half of the fight. It's a character that doesn't get 8 because how do you catch this character at the early game,
you can't.
right? She's tanky, she has barrier or protocol violation, right? And has like the eating. Like she's a good rat. She's a good third party character. She's good at receiving dive because like she's good for peeling. Right, she's good for peel, she's good for chase, she's good for burst comp, she's good at poke comps.
Just wall jump.
She fits everywhere. You can you don't lie to me. If you see somebody insta lock Elena, are you happy or not?
Are they on my team?
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah, of course,
Yeah.
right. Like you're like, oh yo, an Elena, right? Like it frees up the comp like making so much
Yeah,
because like so
and play
many
whatever.
characters fit with her. I think she is medium difficulty.
Yeah.
I don't think she's too hard. I do think if we're gonna rate like tank difficulty though, like tanks aren't like the hardest thing to play, I feel.
No.
But like Elena is like if we're gonna talk about like the hardest tanks, Elena is one of the hardest tanks to make a big impact on. But if we're talking about general gameplay, I don't think Elena is like the hardest character. I would actually put Elena way over Echion.
I think I'd put her above Cathy too.
Right.
Just like Cathy,
There's
you
probably-
can miss, right? But like Elena,
Yeah,
like
you can
you
miss.
rape your skill onto somebody and they will freeze at some point. Like
I mean, you can miss with Elena. though.
Yeah, I
if
guess.
you do one of the biggest sins of pressing your R without freezing somebody.
just raw ult. Yeah, I have seen it. 11.
RP gen.
Not all the tanks being an RP gen. I think 11's really easy to get your ability. Well, I guess she has the refund now, but she's really easy to get her abilities canceled in lower elo. Like, because everyone just jumps in and
high
taunts.
elo, I think this character is RP gen as hell, but I know 11 is easy as hell.
Yeah.
But the macro aspect of her isn't like easy, I feel.
No, I think
the
she's
macro
just
aspect of
mechanically
11.
easy.
You know, like, this is what the usual 11 player does. You're in a neutral situation, what does 11 do?
Jump in and taunt and then get canceled. Every time.
Yeah, or like just taunt straight up.
Yeah.
And then, oh, 11 use taunt, suddenly entire Narnia comes out of nowhere to jump your backline. And you're like, oh, sorry, I don't have taunt. Suddenly you're picking your taunt, that's uncool, and you're like, oh yeah, I wonder where did it go?
Does that count as high effort though? I think that might count as high effort.
High effort?
We're putting one of the easiest characters in high effort. It's gonna look so funny with 11 next to Adela and Adina.
Is there a different term we can use besides high effort though? So we can also lower Echion. Like, how about let's make the S tier like easy RP printer instead? It doesn't have to be like an A, like SA tier type of thing. It could just be like, oh, this is the S tier of like easy and this is the S tier of hard.
Yeah, okay.
Like hard mechanical character. Something like that, right?
Yeah, and I think like it makes sense for the top of the list to be like the easier ones, right?
I think like this one should be like high impact. Like you know, like need to have a high impact.
And then move Aiden up, you think? So,
Yeah, like we can put Aiden. You can put Aiden up. I think. Like Celine can stay there. I think,
Okay.
but that's up to you now.
I'm gonna move DeMa up. I think she fits there.
Camilo fits the description as well, but there's more variance to it. So Emma, I think it's Emma's A probably or B. Requires a high impact or like performance, like or like A. That's what I think about Emma.
Yeah.
Point and click CC can single out a target, right? But it's like imagine a mage Bernice that has mobility.
So nothing like Bernice.
A mage? No, like listen. What does Bernice do?
Snare, damage, like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, snare, damage, burst. What does Emma do?
The same thing with better ratting. Or better escape.
Yeah, the same thing with better kiting, better survivability. Totem is usable, right? Point and click. Not a skill shot. Point and click. Like her impact is harder to punish.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not
like,
punishing her by killing her.
If she goes for it, you're not punishing her.
Yeah.
Like it's hard.
She's not dying if she messes up. But I do think like
Yeah, in lower elo though probably
Well,
because
yeah.
like it's easier to like in lower elo probably. But in higher elo it's really hard because they won't give you a window for that. They just won't. They will do the safest like initiation. The skill ceiling on the character is high, so if you're in low elo you're probably like I want to say low skill, but like you know like you're probably
not playing Emma
like,
to her full
you're
potential.
not Yo-Yo or something. You're getting me
Yeah,
right.
I'll put her at the bottom of A. But depending on how many characters we get to, I might move her around.
Estelle, it's a C or B.
Yeah, I was gonna say
at the
low B
moment.
or a high C because she
Yeah.
can't carry, like offensively.
Yeah, she can't really carry. If your team is bad, like good luck,
Yeah.
bro. Right. Like, and she's fine at ratting, but it's definitely not as flexible as like other characters because she doesn't have a wall jump.
No, yeah, you just blink in front of her and she dies.
Yeah, just blink in front of her. Like it's like you know, just like blocking a Magnus bike. So I think it's like BC type of thing. Yeah.
I think
Like,
a good
feel free
Estelle
to put
is
her
hard to
wherever,
play
though, of
against.
course.
Whether she's putting up her shield at a good time or like stunning in the middle of a combo, I think it's good. It's like the Estelles that
Yeah, but like that type of stuff usually happens in like high elo.
course.
In mid elo they just like spam their abilities off cooldown.
Yeah, and I think that's what puts her in C because you can't just do that.
Oh, by the way, I don't think we've talked about this, but I think we do have to consider being carried by high elo players for mid
for
and
the
low elo.
kittens?
We have to give extra points to characters that can literally be kittens and be hard carried by like an averse or something. Get
Yeah.
me?
Okay.
And if you're like the kitten but you play like Fiora, I don't think you're gaining.
Yeah.
I don't think you're getting carried as easily, bro. Like you get me, unless you're like if you're like in 11, hard to mess up, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay. I see.
All right, Eva.
She is easy to play.
I think she's-
and she's got good poke.
Yeah,
but-
she's good with specific comps, but if you're relying on specific comps to win games, as somebody who's not in 9 level Eva, yeah, it's gotta be wrong.
Yeah, I think it's also she's pretty good in low elo too because everyone runs it at you in a straight line. Like no, there's not many flankers.
So, yeah, they don't sidestep.
Yeah, people don't come from like.
So it kind of balances out, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, where would you put her?
I think she's higher than Celine just because she's easier to play.
All right, I mean fair.
But I don't think her peak is as good as like a good Celine.
I would put her at C as well.
See.
Someone that's similar to Dylan though is the next character. That's
Felix?
for sure.
I recommend Felix and
Yeah,
Dylan
Felix.
for people who play them.
Yep, I think it's a A tier, or high B type of character.
Yeah.
I don't think he's easy, but he is definitely like if you perform, if you hit that juicy flash Q3, and you're like, oh, 3-man spear skill, and then you just like wail on them, you're literally 1v3, and then your team is just like, all right, I press my buttons, I don't know where it will hit, but we win the team fight anyway, right?
Yeah.
Felix is one of those characters that can like actually carry, like similar to a Devi, right? Similar to a really good Devi. I think like Felix is up there, so I would put him at 8, but that's just me.
No, I also put him in A. He's also got so much outplay potential against auto attackers.
Versatility in building too, by the way. He can play tank smolder.
Yeah, smolder tank with the.
And he can play
yeah.
like crit burst. So like if you master the character, you can go like different avenues with him.
Like Felix in my mind is like the same type of character as like Camilo, Aiden, but like a duelist almost.
I mean, they are bruisers though.
I guess.
But like ER bruisers hit different though,
Yeah.
bro. That's the thing. There's like defensive bruisers and offensive bruisers. I think Debbie's more like defensive type of bruiser where like she's more into punishing, I think, than like being the pit bull that bites your. It's like, you know, that like that worm that attaches on you and just doesn't let go
Yeah, the
until
leash.
you're dead. Fiora. Oh wow. I actually think Fiora's at A at RP game, but like if you consider mid low elo because it's a skill shot based character, it's gonna be B.
Yeah, this
So it's like similar to Aiden.
is one of the few characters now because like Amp is the only way to play.
She's considered S tier in Korea right now, by the way. But you know, like it's like a skill shot based
Yeah,
character.
you
So.
have the potential to do 0 damage on her. Like, she's one of the few characters where you can miss everything and not
I mean,
have
like
the live.
it doesn't even have to be players. Sometimes it could just be 2 uptown dogs or some shit. What? Oh, no! What? Wait, that's impossible! There's not a lot of stuff to talk about Fiora because Fiora is just like it's a DPS race type of
Yeah,
character.
you hit everything and you kill or you miss and you die.
I think Hart is actually B though. Because like Hart is more like it's either you're specialist at her or you're not. That's a thing. Like it's either you're like the son of Pie Master or you're like the son of Bochi.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think like Charm is a very good skill, right? Like even on its own.
Yeah, it's like it has that Bernice Nikki factor where you single out one target. Oh, somebody got charmed, and then like everybody like presses their shiny buttons on that one guy.
Yeah, but you can like
then the guy gets sent to Narnia.
you can ruin your team with your ult. Like
Yeah, I mean, it does require people to understand that if Bianca is channeling E, you don't press R as hard. Or like there's a Magnus spinning, a Yuki ulting, and a Shukai ulting, right? And then you ult, and you're like, yo guys, look! We're dying in style.
I think B's a good fit for her.
Like if it's meta, if you're factoring in meta, I wouldn't like do that. But if you're just not factoring meta in this particular rating, then I would put it above just because of like right clicker.
Put her below Fiora because I've seen like some hearts not realize like in the lower elos that you have to put points in passive and like or not points but evolutions in passive. All right, Haze main.
Haze, I think is the same tier as Adriana, in my opinion. But since I don't play Haze, like I wouldn't know, right? Like since I don't play Haze, I wouldn't know. Just basing it off the Haze players that I played with, and played against and watched, of course.
Yeah.
I am unable to speak of personal experience when it comes to this rating.
What's your Haze account's name?
I don't have a Haze account. What the hell? How
Haze
many
games do
Haze
you
games do I
actually
have? 0.
I don't believe you.
0, bro. What do you mean? Maybe 2.
There's no way.
Nah.
No, I think like Haze has some like glaring flaws to her. Like it's
Yeah.
you have to outplay
Yeah.
to stay alive. Like she doesn't
You
have
have to
a
outplay.
like a panic button.
How many Haze players have you seen miss EQ and die?
Yeah, no, all of them. Like pretty much all of them.
Oh my god, dude. When she performs though, she's like, holy. When she performs, it's like you Pepe kneel to this guy. You're like, my queen. Thank you for the RP.
Well, if you're not getting
But when
dosed,
she
like,
sucks, oh my god. I mean, that's the thing. This character is one of the best kiters in the
Yeah.
game. But you need to know how to press the buttons though. That's the thing.
Hyejin, I think she like fits similar to Adriana Haze. Like, she's worse in meta than those
Yeah,
two,
but like, I feel like she's inferior version of them.
she's
in
she's
my
definitely
opinion.
the inferior version. But she also has a hyper loop. She's not a bad rat.
Yeah, like she's a better rat than the mage category B, but the fact that she has to rat is
Yeah,
what like you know.
yeah, she's in that situation a lot because she's not very strong. Yeah.
Personally, I can't put yet Legend and like Camilo in the same category in terms of RP games, but that's just me though.
I don't know.
But yeah.
I don't think she's the worst mage.
I mean, she's definitely not the worst. It's like, yeah, you're not dying early, but you're also not gaining much because
Okay.
you know you're not winning much of the fight. So it's like a slow climb type of
Yeah,
thing. For
I
me.
think when she's
That's
strong,
way
she's
worse.
here. Well, she's strong, she's up here. But like when she's like average, she's like here, and then I think like maybe like right now she's like here.
Yeah, that's more realistic, I think. Hyunwoo, my dude, Hyunwoo. I feel like this character is like probably average or below average because he's a weird character. It's like you hit wall stun and get a lot of impact, or you hit nothing and you gain nothing.
Yeah, I think he also has like a trap with him because like I feel like people want to do the amp Hyunwoo one shot, and that's so useless.
Yeah, and then suddenly, they don't understand that. Oh, if you do the amp Hyunwoo one shot and you're trying to gain RP with Hyunwoo, thinking that's gonna be a good RP generator. Let's just say that if you miss, you
yeah,
die.
clearly.
Yeah, you're squishier than like you're as squishy as an ADC when you run that build. That's the thing. The only thing you got going for you is the fact that you have Tonfa skill. That's why like he's deceptively tanky, even though on an amp build.
The auto attack Hyunwoo is much better, obviously, but like it's one of those situations where like if you're engaging, like that's also your escape.
I actually can put him C if it's my take, right? Just because of the fact that number one, like there's that factor where you pop off, where you hit every wall stun. Number two, there's that factor that you play glove Hyunwoo and you get carried by a high elo player just because you won't die. You have to put a consideration for tanky characters that don't die because even though they misplay, like the team gets to carry just because they don't die.
Yeah, like that
You
was
get
our
me?
problem with Alonso, right?
Yeah.
Like he's kind of like that, but he does die.
Oh, Irem, my dude. Irem. Sheesh. As a Nero para enjoyer, alright, I can safely say that this character is at B.
I would also put B.
If you apply a lot of pressure, get focused, you don't instantly die on Irem because you can grab 2 fish and get like an effective HP of a tank for a couple of seconds, right? Like, and like you can like weave in and out of the fight. You're really good at running away. You're really good at catching people. You're really good at snowballing. If you're behind, you can win off of like 2-man CC type of stuff where people chase you and they disrespect you, then you turn the fight. Those type of situations. This character does have a really high skill ceiling though. That's why it's kind of hard.
She's a
but,
shapeshifter, and I think that like automatically turns people off if they have to like learn 2 different kits. But like,
she's a cat.
yeah, I think she's not the hardest character in the game, but she definitely has like a bit like you'll have to play her a couple times to get used to it.
If I were to make a tier list of difficulty playing at high level right now, I would put Irem at A+. Like I don't think low elo will perform really well on Irem. It's more like high elo will perform on Irem. That's what I think.
They like jump in and just die, or
Yeah, something like Yeah, they just jump in and die, and they're like, I have a human form, but I'm a.
Yeah, I guess she's like a little bit more punishable than like.
Yeah, she's definitely punishable. Yeah. It's just like you have to be snappy with her. Basically, you can't be relaxed.
Isaac, they've just made it easier to play.
Yeah, I think the moment they changed the passive to 3 procs is definitely easy RP printer in my opinion.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
Yeah, it was a mistake. Like the fact that you can rip more than 1/4 of somebody's HP off of like Q auto W.
It's like half a second.
Yeah, it's like half a second and you reset your E with it. Holy! Yeah. And like the good part about this, like, yeah, they focus you when you do that, then you press D skill, right? And if they focus you, the next engage will be even bigger damage because guess what? The guy runs bitter.
Yeah. And he's got the shield break now on the E.
Yeah, and she has the shield break on the E, so like it's in a more like convenient like skill for him to do a shield break, right? Like W is more frequent, but like E is more like more convenient because like it actually like it's like the moment where you do the death combo on like somebody.
So you mentioned pistol isol earlier.
Pistol isol is charity basket. Hell no.
That shit doesn't
but
do
I
anything.
think AR isol is D. Like people would probably disagree with me just because AR isol exists, but like AR isol isn't as picked as much like because there are better ADCs out there. Like I mean in Korea if you see an isol usually it's a pistol specialist and like you know what pistol isol players do in KR? They copy paste their deck and show them that yo guys I'm not trolling. I'm actually a real pistol isol main. Please believe me, don't dodge please. I don't want to wait another 5 minutes for a queue. Right? So I have won a game with a pistol isol before, but damn my dude needed to play like faker just to get an impact of a B tier character. You can't be like, oh I'm gonna kite with my invis. Right? Maybe in low elo it works, but you know like in higher elo, people definitely don't forget about the ward thing. Like, yeah, I would put like Isol at D, like at max. Max D.
Alright, Jackie.
Oh my god, this character is a D in my opinion.
This character's D?
Yeah.
All forms?
All, majority of his weapons are D, I feel.
Yeah. I think 2H is...
2H is C. 2H is C, I think, and dual sword is C because you can actually do stuff without relying much on your teammates. But I feel like Axe is like, in theory, the best one, but that's if you do have a team. But if you're talking about solo queue, like dude, Teska said it best when I was playing Jackie. He was like, "This is why I quit Nero. It's because I rely too much on my teammates to do stuff before my character becomes a character. Otherwise, I try to go in and you get blown up." Jackie moment.
Yeah,
like
which
right.
like she's supposed to be this like serial killer, like nukes your backline and jumps around and gets resets, but like she can't.
She can't because number one, she doesn't have CC. She only has one for mobility, and she is very window like gated. What I mean by window gated is if you capitalize on the window, you get the impact of the character. If you don't, you're useless. Like she's not even that good of a rat. That's a funny part.
Like her jump's not great. It's on a long cooldown.
Yeah, it's on a long cooldown, and you can cancel mid animation of it, and like it is long range, like wall jump, which makes it like hard to catch. But like damn, the fact that she doesn't have any CC or slows or anything that's like not in melee range, and like. You know, like all she does is damage, like makes the character lack so much flexibility, right? That's why I feel like in low elo this character is actually an A, but like in higher elo this character is definitely like C or like below.
I don't even think she's A in low elo. I think she's still B. Like she's just not hard to deal with.
Okay, right, Johann is definitely in the Camilo like Aiden like category. I feel. It's like higher. It's. Like, I feel like it's in the category of, like, the Felixes, the Devis, the Camilos, the Irems, the Edens type of character. Where, like, it relies a lot on your personal, individual performance to make a huge impact, right? If you fail, you're like, but if you do succeed, it does super good in RP games, right? Your character has 1,000,000 dashes and the E can wall jump, right? The E, like, let's just say that if you know how to play Yan, you're gonna be able to press E like 6 times or something.
if you misplay on, like, he's kind of mechanical, right? Like, he's a hard character, I'd say. I don't think he's that useful.
It's definitely easier to hard it on Yan on like something like Felix, I guess.
I think I would put him here for now.
But the moment you make a case for low elo, though, oh my god, this character looks so bad.
Yeah, right. Like,
yeah. Like it's I feel like if you're gonna put Yan at a high considering low elo, Camilo should be there too.
I think Camilo's easier than Johann though.
Right, because
right.
Camilo, at least when he ends, he buys like a lot of time. Right, he buys a lot of time for y'all to like do something, right, to help him out or like salvage the fight. But Yan, like when he messes up, he does tonfa skill then dies.
A good Yan makes Yan look good, but like a bad Yan is...
A bad Yan makes Yan look like Arda.
Yeah.
On tonfa is worse. A bad like Yan on glove is not as bad. Even though tonfa is the better weapon. Just because glove usually runs tanky. Let's say you're with a verse or something, or you're with Pie Master, or you're with like Nai. Like just surviving for them to do their stuff in the fight, like is actually in a way
like
gonna get you a shit ton of LP.
Yeah, you like random ult too, you might get a slow on somebody. Like...
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Jenny's hard to rate.
I hate this character.
I hate this character too. I'm not kidding. It's only because of the passive.
I was a big crit Jenny enjoyer.
It's like you're putting a res mechanic on somebody that's squishy and does a lot of damage. That's kiting, and I'm like, I like let's just say that I think Jenny has this passive more because of lore. The res thingy can be used at a very high level. Like is it Shinomiya? I forgot the name. Like the one in Team Fairy in ERM. I meet that guy a lot. Right, yeah. And whenever we play, you know what he does? He literally goes in 1v3 and dies. And the reason why is because he's gonna bring one guy with him, and then he's gonna like flash out the moment like the passive procs, and so like it's a 2v2 and he resets, and then he comes back, it's a 2v3. That's what he does. He's like doing full kamikaze, dude. And I'm like, hey, if you're that good, why not, right? If you're that good with her, why not, right?
Okay, so I think that's a pretty good argument then for A, right? Because if you play her like that, she's insane. But
I feel like she's more B, I think. But because like she doesn't have the same flexibility as the characters in A. When you look at characters at A, you have Alex, you have Adina, you have like Adela, you have Chloe, you have Debbie, you have Felix, you have like Emma. Like all of the characters in this tier, I think have like a lot of flexibility. Though like very high skill ceiling, right? Like I feel like Jenny does have high skill ceiling too, but it's not like in the same way as, let's say, an Alex, like an Alex where like they can manipulate the fight that way, right? Like Jenny, I feel is like more towards the ADC-ish type of impact, despite being like a mage. It's kind of weird. That's why I say it's really weird to like rate this character. It's really weird. But you can make a case for A, for RPG because of the passive. But I think that it's not good enough. I feel like you can actually make a case for C. Like that's how I see her. It's like B or C in my take.
If you play her like to her ceiling, she's probably A. And if you play her like dog shit, she's probably D.
F. She's like F if you don't play her like anywhere near like because Arda's literally gonna be a better character if you don't play her at least like average tier, I feel.
Does that technically make her the most skilled character then?
I wouldn't go that far. Like I do feel like right click.
Yeah,
like,
okay, fair enough. I'm gonna leave this one up to you. Where do you think we put Jenny?
Probably the ARI tier.
Yeah, like next to her?
Yep. Like higher probably. More skill ceiling. Alright, how many Johann players have reached Immortal?
Like, since he's been out or this season?
Since he's been out in 1.0.
I would guess one. Surely one person has.
The fact that we're guessing one and it sounds like one is many.
Oh my god.
I think should tell you where we should rate this on the RP printer list.
Oh my god. At least we have anonymous gamer.
Yeah, at least we have anonymous gamers. Arda.
Hold on. I'm looking at preseason 2.
Preseason, surely. Preseason is where the
There's
good
one
shit
immortal
is.
Johann. And he 3% Johann games.
No, we're not taking that. Come on. Karla. Oh my god. You know what? Alto almost didn't finish Immortal because of this character.
Alto is a case where he's a better player than Karla is a character.
Yep. But like I'm just like I mentioned that because I'm emphasizing on the fact that despite the pilot being that good, he's not susceptible to LP hell.
Yeah.
So she's definitely not in the higher like tiers, I would say.
No,
as
I
an
wouldn't
RP
either.
gen.
But I don't think I think the potential's there. Like I don't think she's
the
horrible.
potential's there, of course. I think she's C. Where do you put her?
I think she's got good tools. I think she's a little bit more difficult than people expect.
Like I played this character on release and like I've tried it like whenever they changed it. Like I would never think this character was easy.
So like in my Discord, a lot of people recommend Karla because I have a lot of new players in my Discord.
Oh hell nah! What the hell are you guys thinking?
No, not even like the older players recommending Karla. Like the new players that play this game say like they picked up Karla and it's been like something that they've like, found easy and enjoy. And I'm like, who are you people? I think she's really easy to do nothing on. I don't even think like, just like ulting and dying is good. Like,
yeah. I think that actually she's like C or D actually now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I feel like Barbara's above Jackie too.
Yeah.
Like the only thing that's limited Barbara from like being a normal RP like generator is because like her cooldowns.
Laura. I think this one's pretty easy.
Yeah, that sounds pretty easy.
I would put her here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's pretty easy. I feel like most like like this are like I feel like this is like the if you're got that game you gain LP.
Yeah. Clearly.
If you got that game you gain LP with this character.
If you want people to think you're nice, play these characters.
Yeah, if you want to impress your girlfriend that doesn't know what the hell you're doing, like yeah, play these characters. I feel like Lenox will be at S tier if she was meta. As an individual, like people know how to play around Lenox nowadays. I mean, like I don't know for the lower elo, that's for sure. I feel like in the lower elo you can like drain tank abuse people, right? But in higher elo, like people just know how to play with this against this character.
I
and,
think
like
so
she
too.
doesn't. Yeah.
I think there's still like some like power to having a hook. Like regardless of
if you're ahead you force that thingy.
Yeah.
You literally force the fact that you have to fight us now, somebody got hooked. You know what I'm saying?
And you can also like if you're good at skill shots, you can burn tactical skills like
yeah, you can burn flashes, you can burn barriers, you can burn like what you call this? Like protocol violations preemptively,
yeah,
or you can literally just like
stuff.
or you can literally just like force somebody to not like join the fight just because they're bleeding and they're like half HP, so they don't wanna like chase, right? Or they don't wanna like they don't even wanna run and if they run, it's a hard disengage from them, and from that point you're winning.
Yeah,
right?
I agree, but she can't solo carry, and she needs a team to follow up. So
where would you put her then?
I would put her above Alonso. I think.
Oh, all right. I mean, like, like she does have better escape than Alonso. That's for sure. Tonfa Leon is F. Glove Leon is B. That's my opinion. Like in RP games, because you're actually a good bruiser. At first, he was like a Discord kitten, right?
Yeah.
Now he's like you know, he's like Muscleman Kitten or whatever the hell that is.
I would put him under Estelle.
You'll put him at C? Alright. I mean, that's fair.
Just because,
like RP games, there's better bruisers, that's the thing, right?
Yeah, there's better bruisers, and I still think you can, like, kitten with him for, like, higher elo players if you have to.
I mean, you can, but, like,
it's not
like,
the
here's
best
the thing.
kitten.
If you go Tonfa Leon just for kitten mode, what? You got like 100 HP shield? Hell not.
No, I think Estelle's better, like Mai's better. Like
yeah, like if you're just gonna look to kitten with Leon, you're better off picking like a meat shield at that point, which is 11 or something.
Yeah, I guess. I just think I think the potential's there to have multiple playstyles with him.
That depends on you because like you have more experience, I think, in like, you know, connecting with like mid and low elo players than me.
I think
Because me, like the only time I get to connect to mid and low elos is when I'm starting a new account.
I think
Hey, we have a lot of fun though with them, and I don't try to fucking smurf games. I usually pick like goofy characters, and then I let them like carry me as much as possible. I'm gonna be like, alright, I'm gonna do my role and see if you guys like win the game.
theoretically, if Leon misses QE, yeah, like how
You can still have impact.
yeah, right, like you still
Flash
have the
R.
all R, yeah,
Yeah,
So
you can do flash R after you miss your E.
Estelle being the top of C and Leon being the bottom of B would be like a good segue, kind of.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, that's definitely not bad. I think.
I think there's a pretty big gap.
There's
though,
scary
between-
potential with Leon. That's the reason why I rate him like B. That's the thing. You can actually carry a team with Leon if your team is doing bad. Lee Dai Lin. Oh.
Like your secondary.
No, it's my main. It's my main. I think it has to be either S or A.
S or
Nah,
A?
you don't hover Haze. Alright, I think Dai Lin takes a lot of skill to be like at high level. I feel like at like initial like glance, it looks like an Unga Bunga character that just Q auto R, but it has that Jackie factor where you just die if you go in at the wrong time. W timing is not just for right clicks now; it's also for all types of damage.
Yeah,
So,
and she has resource management, which I don't think is
yeah,
easy.
bar
thing.
management
Yeah.
is really important, right? Like you don't want to like self-silence yourself. Like your R is a skill shot that can be cancelled by literally anything that moves a needle for some goddamn reason. E is short range, so you need to be in her very effective range to do it in the first place, so it's kind of dangerous. But the payoff for this character though is the fact that the moment you get on top of somebody, they are gonna lose half of their health.
I think like she would fit like somewhere near Debbie, Marlene, and Felix.
I would say it's more towards Laura.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like up here.
Like Lee Dailin is like an inferior version of Laura, but Dailin has defensive. That you get me?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I will trust the lead island expert.
Yep, because I made that character
Of
and no
course.
one else.
So like Luke at one point was like the low elo stomper. Everyone had a rite
Yeah.
of passage at one point of getting shit on by Luke in Avenue Third Zone.
Yep. Everybody had this story of sure look OP.
Yeah.
Right. Like I feel like every single new player went through the stages of grief in my chat. They're like, sure, look OP, look broken, look I can't beat Luke sure. He's so brain dead this character. And then they would see me like, oh guys, look, this is how you deal with the matchup. So it's actually like a knowledge check.
Yeah. I don't.
It's like it's literally macro check. It's like because like it's all about like predicting whether he wants to queue you or not, because that definitely makes a big difference in whether you get the sidestep or not. And also, right, like people fail to understand that this character doesn't really like stick on you unless you like keep getting hit by Q, because like he can only deal damage the moment you stop moving.
Yeah, at some point you have to dodge.
In squads though, I think that this character is the perfect example of a character that thrives off of mid games.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, you know those type of games where you get like plus 20, plus 10, plus 30,
Yeah.
but not like plus 100.
No, yeah.
Like,
he's
I
not
feel
a
like
win.
this character is like dominating like early mid game and then like falls off at the mid game, then dies there, but ends up with plus RP. Right? It's very transition hungry too. Like if you look at the transitions on this character, it's like 10 Mitchells, 24 scores in a
Yeah.
blood, something like that. I would actually put him at C, like balance. I would put him at Bernice area because he has like a lot of he has a lot of skill cap in my opinion.
I think
like-
his ceiling's decently high.
So a lot of people think this character is like simple, but like that's just because they see the right click part of it and they focus too much on that. There's a lot of like tech on Luke that makes him really, really good. You can like cancel your Q2 with ward hopping mid. You can do it with a bat skill. You can do it with your R. You can like there's like a lot of ways that you can manipulate your movement. Like stuff like mini stuff like that is like I think like the skill ceiling on the character, knowing what to do and how to like creatively approach a fight against every matchup. Like Leon will die at mid game and get minus game, but if Luke dies in mid game, he's probably ending on a plus because he probably got a couple of kills in the early.
And he's
game.
he's a good early game griefer too.
All right, Leon.
Leon.
Oh my god.
I have some opinions. People do not know how to fight against this character.
Yeah, I feel like you need to know how to fight. Like I feel like people do know how to fight against Leon, but the people like I feel like it's the team that doesn't know how to play against Leon.
Yeah.
If one guy doesn't know how to play against Leon, it's over.
in solo queue, she's so good because she loses to communication and
she loses to people being uncoordinated.
Yeah,
that's the thing. So I actually think she's like at least A. At least A.
I was gonna put her like up near Laura.
Yeah, at least there. Leon has to be that good, in my opinion.
Yeah, and low elo she clears, right? Like
low elo, she's Esma, dude.
Yeah.
Holy.
She clears so hard.
Magnus is, I would say, one of the best RP gens in the game, I would say. If we're just talking about purely gaining RP.
Yeah, he's
like,
stupid tanky, good rat, good third party. Like
he is one of the best early game characters.
Yeah, good griefer.
Like, how do you kill him in Crusader armor? Like,
you can't.
Like, no way. Like, no way. You kill him in, like, cause like the thing is, right? He almost guarantees that you get you day 2, right?
Yeah.
He almost guarantees that, like, you get to day day 3, right? You get to the point where people have to res, for the most part, and like you don't need to be super good at him to have an impact. So like his impact is very similar from low elo to high elo. It's like he does the exact same thing from low elo to high elo.
Yeah, the difference is like how much macro you have on him. Like he's really good at making space.
The difference between a good Magnus and a bad Magnus is literally just macro. That's it. Mechanics, I guess like mechanics, like there are some Magnuses that sidestep important skills.
Yeah, I guess you can.
But for the most part, they just like
you can like W during like spells and stuff.
I just W through everything.
Because he's pretty good in low elo too, especially at like just staying alive. He has to be somewhat high, but I would put him in B because he's really not anything insane and he's not solo carrying.
Yep.
Like
I feel like if we didn't label A as like performance based, like I would actually put Magnus at A because like it's the better like mid game character. What I mean by mid game is like mid game as in you gain like 20 RP. It's like you get like 20 RP per game. It's like you're guaranteed to gain RP, but you're not gonna get that plus 100 game. The
ultimate kitten.
The best kitten. I would put it at A.
Yeah, I mean at the like at her worst, you build chess pieces for your team, right?
Yep. Like let's say you build chess pieces for your team. At least if you have dumb teammates, they're dumber, but like do more damage or like die less. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And like you get to save them from bad situations too. That's a thing. If you have Pepe, like this character is like the ultimate. Whether you have a good teammate or a bad teammate, you will have impact. If people are out of position, you get to R them. If people are like in good position, you get to like aggressively taunt into people. Get me?
Yeah.
Right. So I think like this character is supposed to be at A at RP Gen. Let's say you pick Mai and slot 1 and slot 2 is like both utility, sub DPS type of players. Bro, it is not a Mai game.
Yeah, okay. Like not that you can like play her with anything, but like you can play her in like a peel comp. You can play her in like a poke
if people
comp.
are greedy as hell with their comps, then Mai balances it out.
Marcus is interesting to me because I always think this character is terrible.
I mean, we have different opinions then. This character is like similar to a Magnus in terms of like the only difference is like Marcus requires more macro to work compared to Magnus. Better mechanics too. That's the thing. You can't fuck up Marcus combo and expect to do stuff. I feel like Marcus is really strong in the early mid game, but then falls off bit by bit. So if you're winning already at the stage of early mid game, then you should be able to like get to the late game without too much of being a liability. Potential is really high.
I just
But,
think
like,
it's so easy to int on him.
It's really easy. Like it's like the same thing with Yan. You get me? It's like the same thing with Yan, but the tank version.
Yeah, maybe.
You have like this potential of like CCing one like more than one like character, right? And then like locking them in place for your team to like deal a lot of damage. You don't deal the damage yourself, like unless you're Tonfayan, I guess. But like you do respectable enough damage where at times you can actually run down an ADC at early game, right? As Marcus, because they don't have enough damage for you yet.
I would have put him like below Estelle. And
I mean,
you're
that's
saying you would
fine.
put him next to Magnus?
I mean, that's fine. That's fine.
I do agree with like the bit about Jan.
The thing is with this character, it has better escape. Like, he's like not better escape than Elena, that's for sure. But like he
No.
has like good enough escape, I would say. If you win a game with Marcus or Magnus in your team, like a lot of the reason isn't gonna be them in the late game. But if you're talking about like surviving through the early game, they're like the anchors. You get me? They're like the anchors of your
Yeah,
survival
okay.
in the early.
I see.
All right, Martina.
I mean, like you're so prone to losing the game early.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. I would say D. Just because
Andrew-
people like a big reason actually is the fact that people lose morale the moment you lock in this character.
yeah, that too. Yeah. This is a dodge
It's like people
character.
just give up the moment you lose. You the moment you pick this character. Nadine?
Nadine's interesting too, because I feel like Nadine is
Nadine is balanced, I think. I think
Yeah,
Nadine
like
is like C.
she
She's
has
like an
to-
AR Aya type of thing.
yeah, she's got the potential to like carry a game, but like
Yeah.
if your team doesn't know how to play with Nadine, it's such a miserable experience.
Yeah, it's so bad because like you're just a stat stick.
Yeah.
So it's kind of whatever. There's not a lot of like skill expression to the character as well, besides the fundamentals of ADC.
It's like
So-
positioning, but that's like not
Yeah.
unique to Nadine.
When the character was over started, she was so good for RP gen because people would literally just insta lock 11 for you. Right.
Yeah. I would put her like here because you do have the option to play like Amp Nadine now, and like
Yeah, you do not have the option to play Amp Nadine. I would say Amp Nadine is a worse RP gen though, by the way.
yeah, I
Because
just
like
think-
because you don't get kills. Because you poke people, then they run away from you. You don't get the kills.
I mean, you get placement.
And if you lose late game, you don't gain anything at all because you have like what 3 kills or something. Oh, Natapon. Probably D.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
put low C.
but like it's like the Barbara area in my opinion.
yeah,
The character has no mobility.
no, he
Right, the
dies.
character has no mobility, and if you're not one circle, like, come on, like one circle doesn't play this character as much anymore, and there's a good reason for that.
Yeah,
This is the one circle's favorite character, and he doesn't play. If trust me, if Natapon was an RP gen character, he would definitely play a lot of Natapon.
he's like the ult's cool, right? Like the ult's fun, but practicality, like you can screw over your team as well. Like, I might even put him lower than Barbara. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, that's fair. I mean,
'Cause at
both
least-
of these are niche characters anyway, so.
yeah, Barbara like does stuff, like positive stuff. They like Barbara can't hurt your team. Nathan can hurt your team.
If it's a bad native one, right?
Yeah.
I think Nikki is like a B for me. It's either high C or B.
Nikki's only as good as her pilot. So like I
Yep.
feel like if you're
I mean, like, point and click CC though. That's
yeah,
the
that's
thing.
true. She has the same shit as Alonso.
Yeah.
But
Like,
better escape.
then I would put her at average then. That's for sure. I'll put her average then. Like, it's
Yeah.
like a Daniel, that's a thing. It's like a Daniel, but like you can actually target her. But like the thing is, when Daniel does his combo, he doesn't do anything after. Nikki can actually do stuff after the combo.
Yeah. for
Right,
sure.
you're still relevant. But the difference is, Nikki is targetable. So if you mess up your parry, you die. Daniel, you're untargetable. So, like, there's like that like aspect. in terms of like comparison, and like Nikki actually CC. So I think Nikki is better than Daniel 100,000,000%. Yeah.
I think these three are really similar.
Yeah,
In
in
comparison?
RP games, definitely.
Yeah.
Piolo is also somebody that I think that is similar to like this bunch, the average. Yeah, because it would make sense for more characters to be at C, I think, knockout.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
because, like,
ideally every character
yeah.
would be at C.
Yeah.
Other than like
Like,
you
ideally.
could put like a handful pop off
Yeah.
characters and a handful bottom characters, but
Like Piolo's definitely like C, I would say. Because like the only thing that Piolo has in front of like characters like, let's say, a Luke or a Camilo or an Aiden is he has better escape. That's it. Similar to like he's similar to like Alonso experience in terms of
Yeah.
RP game. Because like you don't get the pop-off games where you roll people with Alonso compared to Piolo, but the thing that Piolo does though is keep your team alive.
I think
But-
he's too squishy to like build damage, and then he just dies. And then if you build him tank, he doesn't do anything.
damage.
Yeah.
That is understandable, but you know, like usually you want to go in with at least 2 charges.
Yeah.
So
sure.
you use 1 charge to engage, you use 1 R to either chase or disengage.
Hey, you watching? If you pick Piolo and I'm on your team, you better be dodging. I don't want to see that shit.
Alright, if you pick Piolo, you better be Filipino.
Yeah.
You gotta be ano tank Filipino. You gotta like tell them, alright, this is how you fake being a Filipino. Just tell them your favorite Jollibee combo meal, and they'll believe you're Filipino. Do you have a favorite combo meal in Jollibee?
No, I'm vegetarian. I
Oh
don't-
yeah. Oh wait.
I don't really go to
wait.
Jollibee.
Is there no vegetarian stuff on Jollibee?
I don't know. Is there? I've never been.
Maybe the water, I guess.
What? Priya, I don't think it's that bad. Okay. The silence was loud there.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real, dude. Like, I feel like if I see a Priya run totem or something, I immediately know that this guy doesn't play Priya.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know why? Because Priya has damage reduction on R.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. So you wanna run like Soul Stealer or something, right? I don't agree with the take of like, oh, the meta is Shirichi, Isaac, they like to jump on somebody, so Priya is good. To me, that is bullshit.
Yeah. I don't.
But that's just me though, because like we're not dealing with preschool players with no hands here. Like I do agree with like Priya is really good in specific comps. Her damage is respectable. Her peel is fine. Her shielding is really good.
I think it's
right?
the movement speed is the best part.
Like the
But-
movement speed is really good as well, right?
Yeah.
It makes it easier to dodge kill shots, easier to chase, easier to kite when you want to disengage. But I generally think that if you're not running stuff like Leon or something, Isaac plus like, you know, Isaac or something, right? Or like basically play like characters that get like super high impact when you're supporting them. Like, by the way, the best Priya in the world, I mean like at least in KR, doesn't even like has a negative RP, like final RP with her, and that's the
Really?
best Priya. Like I would actually put Priya at D at RP gains. It's
Like
not
down
that
here?
easy to gain with her. But if we're talking about NA, like of course it's not a knock on NA. Because like I think AG Thomas proven that you can get Mitchell with her.
Yeah,
But I
I mean-
wouldn't I haven't asked him was it easy or not. You know what I'm saying? Was it easy or not? Majority of the player base, definitely not C. You can't get carried on this character. You could like float around like a butterfly and get carried by an Isaac or something. You can be a kitten basically.
Yeah.
You can be a kitten.
Alright, next is Rio.
Rio. Alright, where would you put Rio actually?
So, Rio's,
Typical ADC slot?
yeah, she's like the token ADC, right? Like, she's like as ADC as they come. So,
Yeah,
like,
it's like the vanilla ADC.
Yes,
Dude.
yeah.
It's the yeah, Nadine and Rio have to be the most vanilla ADC
Yeah.
characters. So
she's got like slightly more, like, I don't know, like at least Aya has pistol, right? Like, Rio has like nothing.
I do feel like Rio has a lot of potential though. Like in skill cap. If you know your numbers really, really well, and you manage to like, okay, I man up at this fight, and I do like R2 on this wall, and it will be just enough damage to get the kill off, and then I jump when the next guy tries to jump me.
Yeah.
You need to be a god at the game, dude. Like you have to be like if we talk about the average Rio performance though, it's definitely average. There is a character that I think that's like not mid, but bad like players of this character will make the character look bad, and that's the next one. Yeah, I feel like Rosie is a character that if you don't know how to time your iframe plus stun, and you don't know how to space, and you don't know when to be aggressive and when you should like play to kite, you are an NPC.
Yeah, I agree. My things with Rosie was that you can't E for fun on her, and
Yeah, you can't E for fun. The thing is, some players are literally just waiting for you to E, then like, oh, press
Yeah.
all the buttons now.
No, literally, it happens so often, and I see it whenever I do coaching. Like so many people like want to play Rosie because like she's an ADC that can dive, but that doesn't mean you should dive.
The thing about Rosie is like the only thing that's keeping her from like being broken, stupid broken, is her range. That's
Yeah.
it. I feel like this character is like either plus 100 or like minus 60.
I think it's really
Yeah.
easy to end on her,
Yeah.
but I think she,
I feel like this character is like the same tier as a Hart though in the RP gen.
yeah, I just don't think she's as safe.
Yeah, she's definitely not as like the thing is right. If Rosie is as safe, I would put her at A. But Rosie's
Okay,
not that
that's fair.
safe.
I was gonna put her with Hart because I think the W usage of Hart and the passive auto attacks with Rosie are very similar for like low elo that messes up. I think like with 1.0 being squads, she does get a lot of her bad matchups neutralized. Like she kind of used to just like beat melee and lose range, and that was the meme.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, like it's like like you beat the living shit out of like bruisers and tanks, but you die to like Eva and stuff, right?
yeah, and like now you don't have to worry about that as much. Like in NA, you can compensate with skill with mastery, right? Like
Yep.
I don't outplay people very often, but I'm usually like 3 mastery ahead of my opponents at like all times.
People are more cautious in NA and EU, in my opinion. They're more cautious. They choose fights like they ego people less. I think they definitely ego people less, right? And they like commit they don't commit as much. Like there are a lot of people that are all micro, no macro, that get away with so much stuff just because let me pick the most broken character of the patch, but I'm mechanically super gifted, but I'm not very good at macro.
Yeah, and they just
Get me?
outplay to
Yeah, they
win.
just outplay the fights,
Yeah.
right? Where we at? Juichi. Okay, I feel like NA and EU's opinion of Shuichi is definitely gonna be way, way tamer than KR's opinion of Shuichi.
Yeah, I mean I watched
Definitely.
KR Shoichi and that shit looks unfightable at times.
Shuichi in KR has to be one of the most uninteractive bullshit ever put in the game. Right.
I've never fought a Shoichi in NA and feel like I didn't have a chance.
That's the thing, right? Like ECU, I think, was like the best Shuichi in NA, and he makes like Shuichi look so good. But when he went to KR, he didn't even reach Immortal. That's not a knock on him. It's just that hard to get to that level in KR because like, you know, like your competition is players that play the game for like 15 hours a day that are like 16 years old or something and are clearly talented. And if they're smart, oh, it's game over. You get like a 1 circle or something.
The one thing like with him, and I think with like a lot of these other A characters, because I'm assuming we're putting him in A.
Yeah,
Is-
I'm definitely putting him at A.
Low elo makes them look so horrible.
Yeah, low elo Shuichi is like worse than Johann. And meanwhile, like a Shuichi that knows how to, okay, I'ma use EMP drone so the wards are disabled and my D skill gets value so I can jump the back line. And then like I ping pang pong shikala pong ping, even though if I'm slow with my buttons, I'm playing and positioning and targeting optimally. You immediately become like god of the lobby. if you have that type of mindset when you play Shuichi. Like, the thing is, right, people would want to target you, but how do they target you when you're moving at the speed of light 10 times in a row with no delays? Like, here's the thing, Abigail feels more interactive because there's delays between her E's. Meanwhile, like Shuichi, there's no delays between his W's. Like, I would say though, like, a bad Shuichi at low elo is gonna get minus 60, like minus 1 million RP every game.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a bad Alex player is probably gonna like not die at 8 every game. I would actually put him like the highest of B just because we're factoring people that are not good at Shuichi.
Yeah.
Silly, I think, is balanced.
Yeah, she's nowhere near as oppressive as she used to be, which I think is interesting.
Like, I think you can make a case for her at being at like requires high impact though, at the Bianca Adriana area, because she is transition hungry, but when she does get it, like, you get a pop-off game, and Sylvia is one of those characters that can force the advantage while like not inting. But you gotta be like a Frankie or a Gamjatang to be at that level where you're not inting when you're trying to snowball.
I think she's like a little bit better than Irem.
Interesting. Yep, yeah, I would say so. Easier too than Irem, I would say. The easier shapeshifter.
Yeah, which is crazy because I think she used to be so complicated.
She used to be complicated because you needed to do the pistol skill reset bike combo, human combo into bike combo, weapon skill into like bike combo into human combo.
I think her passive changed now too, right? Like, you don't have to go.
Yeah, they made it easy. They made it a whatever now. You don't even have to like aim for it. You'll just get it naturally. Oh, Cicella. Alright, Cicella's hard to gain LP with, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I do think though, if somebody knows how to use E, she's gonna be like easier to get RP with than Eva. Because her R doesn't need to aim, right? She has a wall jump. The R is like, you can move now while you have Q and E.
Yeah.
You have unlimited poke, you have a defensive skill unlike Eva. Right? I think it's actually easier Eva. But like Eva is more bursty in the little like in like a window. I feel like Eva has a better damage output at a window, but Cicella has like the better overall kit, I would say.
Yeah. She's just less AoE too. Like, I mean, the ult's like good.
The ult is like point and click.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not point and click, it's like literally like point and global. Alright, where would you put him though?
I think she'd be less effective than Celine.
Really?
But I think she could be better than Hyejin.
Yeah. I guess like we would have the same opinion. The only thing that I would change is, of course, I would say that this character is like better than like Eva. That's all. This character is like a kiting queen now, because you're no longer locked in animation.
I'm gonna trust you and put her above Eva.
J-Tang's gonna make you a believer, trust me. Right. I'm a KR player, but I do know you guys, right? Like, I know, like, I feel like a lot of NA players don't know the KR players, but I feel like me as a KR player, I know a lot of the NA players.
I think that's fair.
Speaking of fair, Suwa! Nah, I don't think it'll be controversial. Just put her S, dude.
Yeah? You think she's a pretty...
Yeah, just put her S. Yeah. LP printer. Unstoppables, can escape, can chase.
I guess.
The best bruise, like one of the best bruisers of the game.
I think she has the potential to end, but like, even if you have the potential to end, like, I think she can get herself out of situations.
The thing is, you just need to down one guy and you win the fight because you full heal off of it. I feel like a lot of Suwas forget that you can literally just like full heal off of a dead body. I sound like the NA guy now. I would actually put her at S for like LP printing, no cap.
Maybe I'm coping. Cause, I don't know, like, she was my third most played.
I swear to God, if we go with the midway and go A, people are gonna say, yo, Nero made him put him at A because like Levi wanted to put her at S. I swear to God. And they're gonna be so surprised that, whoa, wait, Nero want to put her at S? Damn! I mean, I'm not gonna lie though, if I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna put her like in the middle of Lian and Laura. Like, I do think that if you're not superior, you are not the broken version of Suwa.
Right, like, all the Suas that pick up Suwa because they think she's broken, I've never had a problem with. It's only been superior and like maybe two others.
Yeah, maybe Dylan, I think. Like,
yeah, Dylan's really good. I used to do it with him.
I know the boys. I know them.
Next is Tazia.
Tazia. Oh my god. It's like an Adina Adela type of thing. Yeah, it's like an Adina Adela type of thing where you need to be a good pilot to actually get the actual gains. Otherwise, you're probably just a meat shield because you're spamming shield and not hitting your Q. That's what I think about.
I would agree. Like, my take for her is here.
Yep.
Because I personally think Tazia is the hardest character in the game.
You haven't seen my Tazia yet then. Huh. I'm actually a Tazia specialist. The daughter of one circle. Real and true.
Are you half square?
I'm like Pentagon. I'm fine with that. Theodore is probably gonna be like, requires high impact. It requires like a good comp and it requires you to do high impact.
Yeah.
Like if you don't get like that comp where you get like a Yan plus Isaac, right? Or a Yan plus like a Suva or a Suva plus a Tazia or like a Laura plus a Dailin. It's weird. Yeah, because like, because you're designed to be like a hyper aggressive dive support. Not like, like a turtling like poke character. I mean, you can like have some impact on that role, but like his best version is definitely the like snowballing diving with like two melee characters type of thing.
I put him between Fiora and Aiden.
Yep. I mean that's fair. That's fair. I put him like probably like besides Sylvia.
Oh yeah, like up here.
But nah, probably not. It's fine. Yeah, not like I would say like Theodore is too comp reliant. That's the thing.
Yeah, like I feel
it's
like
too comp reliant.
You could like put him in the same category as like the characters up here, where it's just like if you get your ult off, they have like one good spell.
Yeah, and then the rest is like kind of meh.
Yeah,
right.
But like Aiden can do his own thing, where like Theodore needs the comp.
I do feel like, with that said, like I mean like the thing is, right, like you can be a bad Theodore and like win just because I press R, and then like the team goes like, oh, let's go, I'm fast. Theodore's impact as a support both in low and high elo are like very similar. It's just like it's more highlighted in higher elo, I think, because the people actually know what to do when they get the R. Jan and Marcus are like, if they're bad, they're literally just, yo, I'm gonna tank all the spells for you and die.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully you carry the fight for me. Tia's a specialist niche character though.
I like Tia a lot when she's on my team.
Tia is so good against melee comps though. That's the thing. Melee comps so good. I think like she's an average in terms of RP gains though.
It gets clipped on walls. It doesn't go over walls. Like,
and like she can get run down if she misuses her D skill.
Yeah, it's a like.
Yeah, and D skill isn't like the most reliable thing. Like some people actually dodge kills. Like I know you've been in this situation where you're a bad character and you do a D skill and somebody dodges your D skill, not because they actually dodge it, but it was by accident. By accident that they dodge it because they have a weapon with attack range or something.
Right, yeah.
Hey.
You like try to D-skill a Felix away and he just like sits there auto.
Yeah, it just sits there and auto attacks you and like, oh wait, I did that. I dodged that. You know what I'm saying? When in reality it was just them like having long attack range. Solo queue wise, Eva's more reliant in comp. Tia relies less in comp. Because Tia's like, like you can, like Tia relies less with comp, is like I would say. Like Tia could be in a poke comp and can be in a dive comp. Eva in the meantime, if you don't pick 11 for her, she fucking dies. What think about Vanya actually?
Do you want my hot take?
LP printer?
Yep.
Alright,
It's fucking busted. She's got so easy to play, has good escape, good shielding, good sustain, decent damage. You can't ignore her, but you also can't focus her.
Like the iframe is like kind of whatever. Like against like in like the thing is like she's gonna be like kind of a whatever character the moment mages starts becoming a thing. I feel, but like at the moment you can put her at easy RP printer. Because I feel like mid and low elo is really good printer. In high elo is like kind of above average. Yeah. So if you're really good in low and mid elo, is literally S tier at mid and low elo, but you're like A plus in high elo, I think it would be S in an overall rating. I feel like if this is more NA, like if we're gonna lean towards more NA, because I know like more NA is gonna watch this, it should be at S.
Yeah,
right.
I guess. I think she would be like the bottom of the RP printer then.
Because you can int with this character too, because if you start missing your Q and you whiff your entire R, bro, that's demoralizing for your team, and like, oh my god, we got a first timer in our team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, right? You need to hit at least one guy, or at least like ult in a way where it separates the fight, where one guy gets isolated trying to sidestep, and then the two gets isolated because they're trying to sidestep, and that's in that side. Get me?
Yeah, you gotta create space.
William, oh my god, have you seen my William guide?
Your William guide?
Yes, I have a William guide.
Do you? I need to watch this.
Oh wow. All you need to do is type exclamation point William in my chat.
This
Wait,
is
he
another
doesn't
character
know?
I think low elo makes looks dog shit.
Yeah, I feel like this character is D tier in RP, by the way. It's either you're god or you're shit. But like in reality though, like he's probably a D at like the RP games.
Yeah.
It just feels so bad.
It's not a good character to climb with.
Yeah, definitely one of the worst characters to climb with. Like even if you're like really skilled with like, you know, the character, it's still hard to climb with him. Yeah, if you get like anti-off +1, that's already scary.
Yeah, I would put him here because I think like he relies on your team peeling, where Jackie relies on like you as the player.
Yeah, it's like the range Jackie or something, but without the resets.
Yeah, right.
Jukai, oh my god, one of the best kittens actually. Holy.
Shukai does have potential to do a lot in a fight offensively, but I don't think he's 1v3.
Play to peel and heal on this character, and if you get an opening to R, you R, but you don't really want to like open up with an R unless you get it from like a bush peak from somebody or something. I think it's around like Theodore tier.
Okay.
Like I would say like sure is one of the best kittens in my opinion, but it's definitely not mine. Because if your team is dumb, it doesn't matter how much you heal on the guy. Or you peel for the guy. Like because like Shuka is not gonna be your main source of damage unless you're running the glass cannon like totem like amp build like Shukai. And I wouldn't recommend that playstyle.
I think he's kind of got like the like he doesn't have great escapes, but I think with dagger skill he's got kind of like the Magnus property as well. Like you can get out
Of like securing the early game?
Yeah.
I guess in like lower elo that's the case. In higher elo they just place a ward similar to Isol.
I guess, yeah.
Next character, Yugi. Yeah, Yugi is kind of a weird one. It's like the middest of mids.
I feel like we used to have 10 million Yuki players in NA, and I don't know where all of them went.
Like the dual sword Yugi is like a better like dual sword Jackie at the early mid game, just because he has a disable and a disarm.
Yeah, he's got good tools. Well, like decent tools. I wouldn't say good. He's got decent tools. Still doesn't.
Yeah, he has decent tools. A lot of counterplay to the tools, but you know, it's pretty decent.
I don't hate tank like
Smolder Yuki. I like that better too than the dual sword. I just feel so naked when I don't have a parry on Yuki.
Yeah.
I feel so exposed, dude. It's like somebody touches me and I die. Like I don't know how like Meek like gets away with what he like with the type of stuff that he does. Like because he's the flashiest player. One of the flashiest player I think in like NA rate.
He is, but he's got really good macro though.
Like he goes for the flashy plays when he knows it's checkmate already, so I can go for this like sick play right now.
He's really good at like playing around vision. Luke has the outplay potential, but he doesn't have like the CC and utility.
Yeah, like Yuki has less tech than Luke, I would say.
So I guess
but like Yuki has more burst. Leon's more flexible, I think.
Yeah.
More team fighty. Like Yuki's more solo QE. You're like, oh, I'm the Kirito that's gonna 1v3. I'm so good at the video game. Look at me. Akatsuki clan member. Yeah, you get me? Like, that's what Yuki players are.
And then they, like, miss.
Yeah, and then they miss the disarm. Then they get, like, W'd by the Marcus.
Yeah,
then, like, gets, like, rooted by some random mage spell. And then they're like, team?
Team?
Right.
Question mark.
Team? Question mark? Y'all are so bad. I don't think I've met anybody like that. It's fun to give somebody a narrative. Oh wait, we already on the last character. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, surely this isn't a 4-hour video just because I was yapping too much.
No, I'll cut it down.
I feel like Zahir is like at balance. Because, yeah, you get pop-off games, but you also get 8-place games with the character. It's like a Bernice tier in RP games, I think. Skill shot reliant character too.
It's kind of like what I said for Hyejin, but without the escape.
This character is like Fiora, but it's like Fiora but range.
See here, Hyejin and Fiora are all similar, but like Fiora is good when you do everything right, and Hyejin's like mid when you do everything right.
Yep. And Zahir, when you do everything right, it depends on like whether yeah, you can do everything right, but people can still like assassinate you.
Yeah.
Because you get countered by Shuichi. You literally get hard countered by Shuichi and like other assassins like Daniel and stuff. Like basically assassins just munch you. And if you don't use your E, you're not gonna guarantee any ulti setup. So you're gonna do mid damage before. I just feel like Zahir has like the best panic button, I guess, on an offensive standpoint and for turning, because the panic button of Celine is for escaping, which is better. The flash E, but like Zahir's like panic button is tornado, which is used for turning a fight. I mean, like putting them right beside to each other doesn't really mean like anything though.
Like I feel like this whole like half of the row is very similar. Okay, let's go tier by tier. I think F is fine.
F is fine. D. Martina, I think, is not supposed to be average experience just because it's Martina.
Yeah.
Priya could be a tier higher if you want to because it's NA, right? Like Korea, different story.
Cecile, you
like,
put like up here?
Like around the Irem, Sylvia, Abigail area, I would say.
This video was the edited down version of a 5-hour conversation I had with Nero. He's a really smart guy, and I wanted to showcase his knowledge on the channel, so please check him out. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to let me know what your character hot take is down in the comments. If you enjoy Eternal Return tier list, you'll want to click or tap the screen now to be taken to my tier list video with Adriana, where we ranked all the characters based on strength, but according to their lore.